The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Aereo, the best place to grow and manage your real estate media business online at aereo.com. That's ARYEO.com. Coming to you from the Upmarket Studio at Gasworks in beautiful San Buenaventura, California, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket Media. Mark Corcoran, you have not been in the studio for a long time, and we got you back. Mark Corcoran, our other co-founder and COO.
Come on, feels good to be back in the studio.
Yeah, I think so. It has been a bit, and man, we got a producer on site finally. Chelsea Froelich, hello.
Hello.
Chelsea, not on camera today, just kind of producing from the bench over there.
Overseeing.
Yeah,
as always.
Good, though. It's good. And we have another special guest. I'm going to introduce her in a moment. But welcome back. I feel like we haven't, like our last few episodes have been all about PMRE. So we said, well, why don't we just do another one?
Let's just squeeze a little more.
We'll do it here at the studio with all of us, because I think we learned a lot at PMRE this year. I mean, it was really great, and we just want to get into some of the takeaways that we have, because I think there's a lot of great stuff, I think, for everyone to, even if you weren't able to go, that you can kind of get out of, reliving our experience, hopefully. And I do want to note that we have had this partnership with iGUIDE for our PMRE episodes. And I think this will be our last one, but, hopefully we can partner with iGUIDE more on something else later. So, iGUIDE, they just came out with their R1 Planix camera. Everyone's all super excited about it. Check them out at goiguide.com. All those good folks over there. And so I feel like one of the themes at PMRE this year was fun. And I think there were two people there who had the most fun and were the lives of the party. And we have one of them here with us now. And it's Nikki Basher, who is, of course, one of our shooters here at Upmarket, and and if you follow our social media, she did a Upmarket Pod takeover at PMRE, because she went to PMRE for the first time. And so, Nikki, can you sum it up in like one sentence?
Oh my gosh, sum it up in one sentence?
Well, just as a starting point.
Oh man, it was super informative and tons of fun. How's
you
that?
Go.
One sentence. Yes.
Impressive.
Yeah, I mean, and I know, I was listening back to the episodes that we did there, and I just want everyone to know I'm not actually an alcoholic. I mean, it sounds like it from the podcast, or if I am an alcoholic, I'm very high functioning.
Yeah, so, maybe, I don't know, there's all the koozies on the table and just the constant mentioning of being drunk.
I was like, oh, yeah. But, you do end up partying. You guys partied.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, because your husband was there, and he didn't really attend the conference per se. I mean, a little bit. He kind of snuck in once or twice.
He snuck in here and there.
But yeah, I mean, you guys were I feel like you just made fast friends with so many people, and it was...
Yeah, we really did. And it was a really good time. It was nice to meet Bethany and her husband in person. That was super fun. And even we had a lot of fun with Matthew Anderson and his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, we had a good time, connected with a lot of people.
As business owners, we go to the conference every year, and it's really, really helpful. And I'm wondering kind of what the experience is as someone who's not a business owner. And just to be frank, you don't really have those aspirations to own a real estate media business.
No, I think after PMRE, I hate to tell you guys, but I'm going to go start my own business now. No, definitely not. But yeah, if anything, I learned that I just really am grateful for being an employee because there's a lot that you guys have to consider. So yeah, it was really just kind of enlightening to see what all goes into running a business like this. And it does give me an appreciation for the employers and the decisions that they have to make. So yeah, it was really enlightening.
And there's for you though, there's still enough content and enough in the actual conference for you to gain insight. You're not just sitting there listening to business stuff all day.
Yeah, definitely. And I did think about that a lot, that there's not being a business owner. There's a lot that I can't really implement, but still some good information and kind of understanding what goes into everything and things that I could potentially implement as we go further. But yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And we kind of see, like, obviously for you, the longer you stay with us, like a bigger role and a bigger vision for what you can do and heading up different departments and things. So even though you're not at the top of the business, there's still certain things and managerial things that you can like gain from it.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's a lot of kind of talk about, strategies for social media. And as Nikki kind of, it works in our social media a bit more. I mean, I think that's really helpful to have.
Yeah.
And then, and it was really good for us, like for me personally, to not have to do the Instagram for the podcast.
I had a lot of fun with that. Although in hindsight, like I wish I would have done more, but
oh, me too. Well,
but it was a lot of fun. I know, just kind of the first time at PMRE, not really knowing what to expect. But
I mean, was there one thing that stood out to you, Nikki, that you did see that like was a big takeaway that you feel like you can implement and you feel like you actually learn something?
I feel like the presentation's about like the videography aspect of things. I just started doing video this past year. And so I definitely see a lot of room for me to grow in that aspect of things. So I definitely appreciated those presentations. And I know that a lot of our videos are a little bit more, pretty cookie cutter, but kind of the whole aspect about telling a story really stands out to me, and of course more of the social media stuff. So definitely that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think really for us, that was like our biggest takeaway too, for Mark and I. And that was kind of, I know when we were driving out, I think I even explicitly said, like, I think we really need to focus on figuring out video.
Yeah.
How
We've been feeling that way for a bit. Yeah.
Not that our stuff is stale, but it's just, we've kind of been doing the same thing for a while. So we need to kind of, I do think we got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
For something, I mean, I think there's always going to be a place for those kind of standard property videos, but I think that we need, to think a little more creatively about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can have a different offering. And now that you kind of know, maybe you can help us kind of formulate what that's going to look like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was really struck. I mean, it was basically Devin Pastorius talked about, why of doing video. And then, Chris Stacy was there with Tim Smith, the kind of high-powered real estate agent in Orange County, and they really went in deep about how Tim uses video to be basically one of the most successful realtors in the country, and that was really interesting, I thought, and I feel like there were a lot of lessons in that I think we can kind of bring to the table for us, and maybe target some of our higher revenue clients who, one, potentially have budgets, and two, are hungry for more.
Right.
And I think that we can kind of present them a new strategy on how they can use video.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of starts with us being a little more creative.
Yeah.
And when
it's
I say
something
us,
we have to guide them and show them, right? They don't really know what to do. Yeah.
And I think there's a place for both, because like the videos that we've been doing have, most realtors are perfectly content with those, and but so I think there's a place for both things where you could go more creative.
But too, a part of it is, I think, when it's just with everything in this industry, we kind of almost we need to always find that next thing, because then someone will start doing it, and then someone else wants to start doing it, and someone else wants to start doing it. And so it's like in the real estate marketing, I really do feel like there's a kind of keeping up with the Joneses aspect to it. It was like when I first started offering Matterport a long time ago, the few agents who did it, some were like, oh, well, now I feel like I have to do Matterport too. And I'm like, perfect. That's exactly the point.
Yeah. And especially if we can get into those top tier agents that are really the aspirational agents, then.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and so I think we really do need to rethink, some of the video product. And I think that is going to fall to me a little bit, because if you follow the Chris Stacy and Tim Smith model, I mean, they're being very, very creative with the videos that they're producing. So they're set at the property, but they're not really about the property.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the thing we need to do. And I think that's where I need to start pulling my weight a little bit more. And hopefully my, on the personal side, hopefully my mind is a little more free now. Than it was a tough year last year and this year, and like I'm excited to actually maybe think creatively about this business, because I feel like we've just been in this mode of like, no, we just want cookie cutter. We don't want employees to be able to do it. I don't want to think about it.
Right, just crank it out.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be more fulfilling for you. Obviously, you have that background of storytelling and screenwriting, and for you to get a little more engaged into it could be kind of fun.
And then
to
you
see
have
what
to
you come
weigh
up
in,
with.
you know, how much goes into the production of, you know, how much production do you want to put into videos like that? But
well, I mean, I think that you need to put in a little more production.
Yeah,
and that's okay. As long as there's a budget for it, that's fine.
Exactly.
And, you know, so I just really need to, flex those creative muscles because that actually is something I'm good at. I mean, I know
it's one of
people
many,
may not
right?
believe it, but well, I don't know. I'm good at a couple things. Maybe. I don't know.
Your list is getting longer.
Okay. And I was really, and the other thing that really stood out to me with that presentation from Chris and Tim was the video that Tim Smith said made him more money than any other video. And it was a testimonial video.
Yeah. It was a really well done testimonial video.
It was.
And just like he said, that's just been crushing it for him. Yeah.
And it was very specific. What I thought about it, it was super high production value, but it was about one specific property and one specific person. And it was very specific in the details about it, where it's like, oh, Tim suggested that I put it on the market at this price, and you know, but that was unprecedented here. And then, but because of this, this, and this, I was able to get this price, and that's all related to how Tim marketed it, and you know, his savvy at all this. So it was really not just they're so great to work with, and they think of all my needs. Totally, it was like very specific.
They got into the numbers and the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
right?
they literally put the numbers on the screen, and it was like, oh, I get it, because I watched that and I'm like, yeah, man, Tim. Sell my house that I don't own.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of more money that he made them, it's just like off the charts.
Yeah, so it was like it was an extra $8 million or something.
Yeah, it's absurd.
You know, and of course that's a very special case. I mean, that's one of the more expensive real estate markets in the world. So
sure, yeah, but we can find that specific agent here that has that understanding and is willing to kind of tell those stories.
Well, I think even if you look at it, if you tell a story where someone literally says, "Oh, I made an extra $150,000 because I used this person as my agent." I mean, even at that price, I mean, who wouldn't want that? You know, it doesn't have to be $8 million.
Yeah, it's all relative, I guess.
Yeah. No, in any market. I mean, who wouldn't want to make an extra $20,000? I would.
Sure.
I would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think kind of creating a separation between our cinematic videos and social media videos, particularly. You know, I know this wasn't PMRE, but Alex Coombs, you know, she's putting herself in some of those videos.
Well, and I think that's we had a PMRE episode. Yeah, I mean,
such a great idea.
Yeah,
because
for Mark. Yeah,
I'll do it. I'm
like,
comfortable on
we
camera.
got the perfect person for it.
Yeah, it could be.
But it's
Nikki,
like you know, and we've got agents who are camera shy. Like you know, we started doing more of the on-camera stuff with the agents, and I had a couple agents who kind of did it one time, and then they're like, I don't really want to do it again. But it might be nice to have that to offer. Like,
so you would do it?
I would do it. Totally.
Well, yeah, and I think if anyone hasn't listened to the episode, it was the last episode with Alex Coombs of Northern Spruce Media in Hamilton, Ontario. I interviewed her at PMRE, and it was the last episode that was posted on here. Really go back and listen to that episode because she's
awesome.
Freaking amazing.
She's amazing.
And yeah, this whole notion of, you know, one of her things that she did, if you haven't listened to it, is she puts herself in certain videos for her clients. Like she'll do a whole package for a client, so they'll have a bunch of B-roll of the property, and then she will, for free, make another video that she calls her Feature Friday video, that then she's actually in it and with the agent, and she's just like this, you know, skater chick, and just is like, I mean, it's like so cool and so creative.
I was kind of surprised, I guess, that she does those for free, but then when I thought about it more, I'm like, the value that she's getting out of it by collaborating with them and just the extra
and she already did a video of that property and was paid for that. So I think it works out.
Yeah, because she was like, I'm not doing it for free. Yeah. You know, and then, you know, I think she just makes sure that they do collab posts on Instagram. And so then it's just like,
I think that's great.
It's money. I mean, yeah.
And it's different. You know, it's different than a lot of what you're seeing.
Yeah, it was a fresh take for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm totally on board. And I think it's good for you know, you can have both the agent and one of us on there, kind of helps them feel a little bit more comfortable that it's not all, the camera's not just on them.
Yeah, and I think if we can figure out an agent that does video that you actually have a particular rapport with.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that could be good. I don't know. We'll have to go down the list.
I love it. I'm so down.
Nikki's got a few,
I think we just need to be producing more content for ourselves as well about our business and behind the scenes. I know it's something we say all the time.
Right.
But, you know, I think
studio more and all that stuff.
Yeah. And we got to be, you know, we have the studio, we have the I mean, we can do it and we should.
Yeah, because I meet people out in the field and they know a little bit about what's going on. And, oh, what do you guys got going on at Gasworks? And I feel like we're putting stuff out there, but it's still not enough for people to really know what's going on. So
yeah, exactly. I know.
It's never too much.
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know. I mean, Alex is just like I know. I was inspired by her too because she just like hired a social media person.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I got my content creator, my social media.
That's their only job. Then they can just constantly be coming up with content and it's hard for us when we're out there shooting because a lot of times we're not, when we're at the property, the situation isn't quite right for making content, especially if the agent's there or the home is occupied. You're like, what do I do for content? It feels kind of awkward to be trying to do that when you should be shooting the house.
Yeah. And you're on a time crunch.
I'm far more likely to make social media content if I'm at the property by myself and I have time to work with. I'll try to think of something that I can do that's not just a picture of my camera taking a shot.
Right. Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah. But it's like you don't want all of your social media content to just be that.
You don't want any of it to be that, really.
I mean, that's good here and there, but you don't want it to just be that all the time. But
yeah.
It's hard to come up with stuff.
We need that person to shadow us, just be in the field roaming around.
I know. Well, that's the thing is you would be good at it. Except the problem is we need you to shoot houses.
Yeah. You're too good at the other stuff.
I know.
So yeah.
Can't have 17 employees like some people, Alex Coombs.
Exactly. Alex, yeah. Yeah, so I the video was definitely a takeaway, and then AI too. I mean, the AI stuff. I mean, that was kind of obviously it's been the topic for the last year everywhere, but it was really it was a topic there, and we've
kind of taken it and actually run with it quite a bit. And it's
a little bit,
good,
yeah. We did the follow up workshop with Jenna Gaduzik.
Her presentation was so good. That was really, really cool.
Yeah. And so I think there are some just kind of simple AI tools that you can use that are really helpful. Like we just got the Plod AI note taker.
Little recording device.
Device.
Cool.
And so Chelsea and I oh man, it was crazy. We tested it out last weekend. We went out to lunch and we were sitting outside and we just set it down in between us. And it was like, I don't know, loud. I mean, there was like cars.
Yeah, there was music playing above our heads. There were people all around us talking. We were outside, so there was car traffic.
Noise, yeah. And it summarized our lunch it was incredible.
So cool. Within a minute.
Yeah.
A full outline summary.
Yeah.
Takeaways, action items.
Action items.
And then there was a section of and then they talked about some personal things too, and it listed all those things.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
That got really good. It was like one speaker talked about talked about social norms of dating older women. I was like, that was Chelsea. I couldn't believe that she was talking about that.
Chelsea.
I know. I browsed the notes. I was like, dang, I missed a good meeting. That was a good one.
I know. It's really appropriate to talk about dating with your employees. It's really good.
So we don't cross any lines here.
I lead by example. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
but yeah, just making those AI tools work for you. That was just I loved her presentation because you're really trying to emphasize the fact that we don't really need to worry about AI taking our jobs, but we can actually implement them and use them to do our jobs better. And that was really...
Well, yeah. And then we, every week, Mark, Chelsea, and I do at least one kind of Zoom call, on Tuesday morning just to kind of, hey, what's going on? What are we doing for marketing? Just kind of a check-in. And we used the note taker for that this week. And it was like, oh, man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice just to have it all documented, what you talked about.
Well, and it's not even documented, but at the end, it's like, oh, here's what needs follow-up. Here's what, it really
it made check boxes of everything that we need to just follow up on, and it was so easy. It just clipped right on the computer.
Because normally we just say stuff, and then I can see Chelsea writing something down.
Yeah, we'll scribble notes. Oh, y'all do this, and Mark, you do that. And
but it doesn't get, it's not memorialized, except in Chelsea's notepad, which I don't have access to that.
I have a stack of notepads from the years. 4 years.
Wow.
I know. Your 4-year anniversary is on Saturday next Saturday.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That flew by in a good way.
We're sorry. But also congratulations.
She didn't say 4 long years.
Yeah,
4 years.
Yeah. And that means it's our 4-year anniversary, Mark.
Guess so.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I mean, we hired
You could
Chelsea
throw a
before
party.
we were official, but yeah.
Right.
But
In
like
January,
right
it'll be-
before.
In January it'll be 4
Can we
years.
afford another party at Gasworks with the tacos
Don't
and the
tempt Reed. Do not tempt Reed.
Do we still have liquor left over?
We do.
We could have
do.
another party with
we
all
do.
the
Well, we're
booze.
gonna have our end of
party's
year
coming up.
We're gonna have
Yeah,
our
yeah,
end of
yeah.
year celebration
Yeah, sure.
in a
Of
couple
course.
weeks. So, we'll
Which
bust
I'm
out
very
some,
excited
we'll
for.
bust out some booze for that. And I think there's other AI stuff we can do. But man, that I think is gonna be, really handy. To have those notes.
And it was cool, like just all the AI stuff you hear typically is just kind of like more generalized. This is kind of what could happen, but this like really got into the nitty gritty.
Right.
And then
Really
especially more with
specific
the
ways.
workshop, it's like, these are the action points. This is what
Yeah.
you do. And it's like, Chelsea, I think, was maybe a little resistant, but now it seems like she's kind of jumping all in on it because she's finding that
It can make
it's
her
actually
load lighter.
saving
Yes,
her a lot of
exactly.
time and making it more efficient. And like, it's
Yeah,
been
of
cool.
course.
Yeah. As I play around with it, I find out how it's like having my own assistant.
Yeah.
So
Right.
That's what we wanted, our assistant to have an
Which-
assistant. Yeah.
yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at you all growing and keeping an
I
open
know.
mind.
Yeah.
You too, Reed. I know you've
I
been.
don't grow.
But it's just fun. It's interesting. It's a little scary, but it's fun to
Yeah.
see
We're-
what
I
it
think
can do.
We're beyond
you know?
the like ick phase of like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
a fake this and a fake that. It's
Well, now we're like either it's the only way we're going to keep up with everyone out
Right,
there. So
right.
we have to get on board.
You got to move forward with that.
Yeah, change
sure.
oh man. The only change I need is a break, so I gotta do that. Let's have let's take a social media sidebar, and then we're gonna come back with more talk, and then still, are we out of action items at this point? No, we're not. Never.
I don't know how we
always
can
have
keep
action
coming up
items,
with them.
so we will. We're gonna end this show later with action items.
Cool.
Nikki, you were just telling me that there was an Aereo ad at PMRE, and you said they made this announcement, and there was clapping.
Yeah.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Because you are now able to add your branding to Zillow photo, or to on the Zillow page for your clients' photos for a property.
There's your logo right
So
there.
if you're an
Boom.
Aereo user, your name, the name of your business and your logo are going to be displayed with the photos that are uploaded to Zillow. And those photos will be high res. You can have high res versions of the photos, not those stupid things that get downsized in the MLS and look like crap.
No, come in with a little watermark. And
You're
all
going to
that
be
crap.
showing off your prime stuff there on Zillow.
That's pretty exciting. I mean, buyers are going to be on there. Agents are going to be seeing it. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That's it. Yeah, I don't really care about the buyers. I just want the agents to see it. That's who I care about. That's what I really care about it.
Yeah, it's great.
So look, if you want to get in on that action, you can. You just have to be an Aereo user. So go to Aereo.com. That's ARYEO.com. Use the code Upmarket and you're going to get 15 free bonus listings. That's 15 listings that you're going to have on Zillow with your stinking logo next to it. It's
a no-brainer, people.
Whiz. Wow. So end of year is coming up, right, Mark? And I know
That's what I heard.
as employers, one of the things we think about is end of year bonuses, right? And I know this year, and I don't want, Nikki's here for this, and so I'm a little sad that we're going to spoil it for her. But every year we get you give them the envelope, and usually it's hey, here's money.
Yeah, cash just comes pouring out of it.
That's and it's been a little lean year, so it's probably not going to be. But there will be floor plans. in
Oh
there.
boy.
Yeah. So and it's not just one. I mean, it's going to be like a stack of floor plans. I mean, because how can we say we appreciate you more than by giving a floor plan?
Yeah.
I can think of a few ways, but
print out every
that's cool.
floor plan you've done for the year into this crazy
Yeah.
like mosaic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's. I mean, I
Hang
really
that in
think-
my living room.
Yeah, you can frame it up, and you know what app we would use to do that? Second floor.
Second floor.
Because not only, even if we forgot to make these floor plans, in time for our party to give you that, we could just do it really quick because you know what? It's instant. You just walk around. It takes you 5 minutes to scan a place, and then you have that floor plan instantly, and you can upsell it to your clients right then and there. I mean, this is amazing technology, amazing company.
This is the future.
Yeah, the future is now.
The future is now.
Secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. You're going to get a free month of service. You're going to be able to get your employees as many floor plans as you want as gifts. I mean, this is this idea is going to revolutionize employer relations. So thank you, Second Floor App. And that's all spelled out. SECONDFLOOR app.com. All right, social media sidebar time. Hey, look, you guys, if you're not by now, what in the world are you doing? Rate, review, subscribe, whatever to this podcast. That's what I'm talking about.
What are we even doing?
Upmarket Podcast. Get in there. And we're on YouTube too. You know, you can subscribe on YouTube. We got some subscribers there. We get some views there. It's pretty
and
good.
You can see our beautiful faces.
Yeah. More of me, but and then Upmarket.media across other social media, and then Nikki, you're Nikki Shoots
Nikki
with
Shoots
a Z.
with a Z at
Do
the
you have
end.
any underscores or anything?
Yes, there is an underscore between Nikki and
in
Shoots.
the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
NIKKI.
NIKKI_Shoots with a Z
Yeah.
at the
Nice.
end.
Yeah, that's it. All right, that was it for the
Got it.
No. What do you think we should be doing in 2025 for our social media?
For social media.
Yeah, I mean, how are you feeling? Because you've been doing some content. I mean, what do you want to be doing as far as social media for us?
Yeah, I guess just kind of what we've been talking about, just like being more engaged and more in the camera and kind of tag teaming with the agents, I think is a really great idea.
Yeah. Do you think Marco will be into that?
100%.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. You could probably
Not as much
convince
as
him.
I would be, probably. But,
Yeah,
You might
I
wanna,
don't-
pay him more.
I don't see
Maybe
it.
if he-
I don't see it.
no.
I don't
see it.
know.
And that's okay.
But
That's
I
okay.
like it. I like the idea of that. I think that would be fun. More
Yeah, we
engaging.
want someone obviously that likes it and wants to do it and is gonna
Sure.
just like kind of run with it.
Yeah.
Not be like, oh God, what am I gonna come
Yeah.
up with?
Yeah, and then so as far as what's been going on in our social media is we did launch our kind of branding stuff. So we made a couple videos, one about the new studio here at Gasworks, and then one introducing our branding photographer. We got a full schedule of branding shoots now.
We did, and we're booked.
Yeah.
And you can implement that into your social media content.
How can we do that?
But Chelsea, you've been using AI a little bit too, right? To come up with more social media branding content.
Yes, yeah. And then I trained a GPT to have our whole branding, backlog and how to talk to our clients with all of our information. So hopefully rolling it out. We'll be ready. I know it's holiday season, so it's hard to get that going with people. But
we did on the post where we introed our Thayer, our photographer. We did get some feedback. We got some people. Let me.
People are interested,
and so hopefully we can turn those into some shoots.
Yeah, and create more content for social media on those shoots too.
Yeah, everyone's interested until they hear the prices, and then they're like, But one day they'll realize they need to invest in themselves.
You get what you pay for. Come on, people.
So
but it feels like it's that time of year. If you're going to invest in that and get into it, then it's kind of now and coming into January.
I think January.
I think
now people are.
I think January because now it's like everyone's investing that money in their families right now.
Everything gets kind of
vacations and this and that. So I think January will be when everyone's ready to roll into 2025.
They really start thinking about what they're going to do for the year.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, that's the hope.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Let's take another break. And then we're going to come back. We have some more wrap up from PMRE and then, maybe some other business and some action items. I I do think there's a few more things we can wrap up from the conference, and we're here obviously with Mark and then Nikki, who was at the conference with us. And Nikki, I'm a little honestly, I'm a little upset that one of the things when we were talking about the great stuff about PMRE is like you didn't even mention the panel that I moderated,
hosted by very hungry fish.
You did a panel? What?
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was lucky enough to be up there on stage for a little bit, and I didn't really get to pontificate that much, so it was a little disappointing. But I did moderate the panel on the future of the industry, and it was pretty interesting. And I was able to stick it to them a little bit, which was good. All these because it was reps of all the big companies, basically that are up there. And, the big question that I think is just the elephant in the room is like, you want us to use these services and sell them to our clients, whether it's a 3D tour or, I don't know, whatever the heck else it is.
Yeah, floor plan, whatever.
Yeah. But then a lot of those same companies are turning around and marketing directly to agents or having subsidiaries that are competitors with us that are offering those same services for a lower price. And, we asked the question, and I don't remember what the answer was, actually, because I was on stage. I was standing there. It was awkward to stand there. Like I didn't have a podium, so I was like,
right.
How do
They're
I look?
kind of seated, and you're just standing on the side.
Yeah, but go ahead. You remember the?
Well, yeah. Your question was like, are you working with us, and are you kind of marketing to us?
Yeah.
And we're your clients, or are we competing?
Competitors?
Yeah, and it feels like
partners?
that sometimes. But I think I remember one specific response was like, well, 80% of the people on their platform using what they do is people like us. There's like a small percentage of people that are the actual agents. People are going to figure out how to do it by themselves.
Yeah.
But it's still the majority of the business is coming from us and being generated by us.
Yeah. And for these services that are pitching it directly to the agent so the agent can do it themselves, I'm not too worried about that ultimately because the agents who want to do that are not our clients anyway.
Yeah, they're looking to be a DIY, kind of figure everything out by themselves.
Yeah, they just want to try to save money, and they're just and they're not smart about it because they should know that even if they're spending 10 minutes on something, that's something that they could spend 10 minutes trying to get in. They'd
rather have someone else do it.
But it really is the ones where there's actual competitors to us that aren't just like that an agent can call for a discounted price as to what we're charging. I mean,
or they're trying to incorporate our services into their offering kind of thing and just cut us out completely.
Yeah, exactly. But I think their point basically was like, there's just no way we can get enough market share that it's really gonna even these national companies. I mean, I think they're really targeting the bottom feeders, the people who are only concerned about price. Yeah. Because they know they can't match the level of service that independent media companies are able to offer.
Yeah. Even the ones that have tried or are trying are kind of finding that out. But
yeah. And we have the relationships. I mean, that's the big thing too.
Have they done a panel like that in the past at PMRE?
No. Yeah, no, there wasn't. So
that seems like a really good idea just for an open discussion. People could express their concerns.
Yeah. And then, there was, I think the moment people were talking about when someone got up and was basically like, when are you paying us for all the data that we give you? And everyone in the audience is like, get them!
Yeah, that was intense.
That was a good one, yeah.
And then all of their points was basically, well, it was a bit of a dodge, but the point was like, no one's interested in the data. We don't have enough of it. Because no one has enough data that it's useful to anybody. Right. Yeah. And so for all these whatever nefarious things that we think, that we all kind of have invented in our head that they're going to be doing
who are they
with
selling
all our
it
data.
all to and giving it to the government or whatever they're doing with it.
But I think my point or, my takeaway is that, okay, sure, no one has enough data now.
But eventually,
will they?
eventually, would they have enough data?
I don't know that anyone can get enough data, but if you say take one of these companies that has a lot of data and combine it with another company that has a lot of data, then maybe you have enough. And then what are they going to do and how are we going to be compensated? Oh, spoiler alert, we won't be compensated. But
not from them, no.
No.
So it's like, when do they combine and merge and become this giant conglomerate, which it feels like it's already happening to a degree?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's still room for more.
Sure.
And they claim that they want to have, a tour of every built property in the world, and a floor plan of every this and that.
Yeah.
So they're saying there is no threat. We're good.
There's no threat. Yeah. Don't feel threatened. Don't feel threatened by AI. Don't feel threatened by
Why is it that always makes you feel even more threatened when they say, don't be threatened? Oh, now I wasn't before.
I'm a nice guy.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So that was fun. I enjoyed doing that, but I told Brandon next year if I ever do it again, I need a podium because it was awkward just standing there.
Yeah.
I didn't have any, I was like, now I just have to stand here because we threw it to the crowd pretty quickly for questions. So I didn't really.
You did an intro and one question and then it just
I did
flipped.
3 questions, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The other big takeaway, and I think it's something that we've really, harped on quite a bit on this show is really the camaraderie. I know, maybe it's cliche to say it, but I think you leave the conference with a full heart. It's just like
and new friends.
Yeah, and new friends. It really is truly about the relationships and how we can all support each other and how we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
And if you just go back 2 episodes ago and listen to the Action Items Spectacular, that to me is just a small taste of what it is like. And the energy in that episode and the knowledge that gets dropped and that people are just willing to come in and just basically give their secret sauce, and
it never feels like it's all these competitors coming together and
No.
I'm trying to get my
not
thing.
at all.
It's just like all of these collaborators coming together.
And they're all helping each other. Like I had a couple of different discussions with people. Oh, how do you guys do this? And if you wanted to grow your business, would you hire a VA first or a second shooter? And
that's a big conversation.
Yeah. So I was a part of and heard a lot of conversations like that too. So they're all helping each other. It's not a big competition, which is nice.
Yeah, and you can just kind of let loose and bitch about real estate agents.
Yeah.
And it's like we have our list of people that we always look forward to seeing, and we know we're going to get together, and that just kind of continues to grow every year to this bigger community for us as business owners, but I'm sure for you too. Like we feel like every day in our company, even though we're small, we're still in our own individual little bubbles.
Right.
But then to just kind of be in the same area with the same people for a week is just kind of cool, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just so fun. I don't know. I joke about all of us being dorks and whatever, and it's true a little bit, but it's actually, there's some pretty cool people in this industry and really smart people. But really you're just struck by the generous spirit, and they're also a pretty fun loving bunch.
Oh,
I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we feel and we hope that we're a part of that, and facilitating that with the podcast. And people are always coming up to us and thanking us for us being open, and it helps them to be more open. It's just kind of a feedback loop.
Yeah, totally. And and I think we kind of mentioned it at the end of the Action Item Spectacular, but that was really, I know for Mark and I both, it was really, we really left with a full heart because we did get, a lot of feedback from people and a lot of appreciation and it was like it makes it all worthwhile.
Definitely seems like one of those things. Every time you go, you leave with something that you didn't arrive with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And when we're just sitting in a room, like I always say, just talking to each other, but then we're in this community of people. Oh man, that episode and this, it's just cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. And it's really, people were saying that they get a lot from this show, but honestly, we get more. So, I do feel like selfish for doing it a little bit, but it's like, just because it's like we, not only is it part of our business now, but it's also like we get those good vibes, and then we learn from people who are on the show. We learn from our listeners. We learn from everybody. So it's really, it's really just a benefit.
I noticed a lot of people at PMRE coming up to you guys and just gushing about the podcast and how they were able to, what they learned from it and how it changed the way they were doing their business. And so I'm sure that was really nice for you guys to hear how your podcast is affecting people and how it's helping people.
Yeah, I met my competitor and we merged. And I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. That's so cool.
All right, enough patting ourselves on the back here. And then I do think, we get the venue was pretty sweet.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
That place was really cool. The showroom was awesome. It was just,
I've never seen more screens in one room.
It's a huge production, but it was a really, really cool space.
Yeah.
Really a lot of fun. The parties were tons of fun.
Yeah. The Upmarket Suite was pretty,
Upmarket Suite was
pretty
sweet. Yeah.
I will say, when the networking
nightcap.
the networking nightcap. I remember during the conference, they said that something they said there wasn't going to be dancing. And I was like, oh, that's funny. As you guys know, we danced all night.
Yes, it was. Yes. Well, it was a little different because in the years past, there's always been a live band. And, so it's been more of like a.
But they had a DJ, and it's like, if you're going to have music, I'm sorry, I'm going to be dancing. You can't stop me.
Yeah,
this ain't Footloose.
I know that. I know that now.
The leg starts twitching. Like,
I'm like, we're going to dance.
Yeah, and so
sorry, not sorry.
Chelsea, cue the music.
That was so fun. We had such a good time.
Yeah, and the thing about dancing is it takes action.
It sure does.
Yeah, so I know. So that means it is time for our action items. Our action items today are sponsored by Pixel CRM, the only CRM that is made by a real estate photographer for real estate photographers and media professionals. It's an amazing tool. Fully fleshed out. You can do so many things with Pixel CRM. I urge you to check it out. It's Pixel CRM. That's PIXL CRM.com. And if you add right after that.com, if you add a little /Upmarket, you're going to be able to get a free month of service to check it out. So check out pixelcrm.com /Upmarket. Nikki, come on, as you're part of the team, but you're still, for the podcast, you're an honored guest, and you helped produce when we were in Las Vegas. Why don't you go first with an action item? You have those honors.
Okay, well, I'm just thinking from an employee standpoint.
All right, good.
For employers to kind of really hone in on and observe your employees to see where they shine, kind of be observant to that and try to feed that. I was really impressed with Alex, Alex Coombs, because she was supposed to go to that workshop, and instead she flew one of her employees in to do the workshop because she saw that, well, maybe she would benefit more, or he or she would benefit more from that workshop. And so I was really impressed by that because she was thinking about who could benefit from this more so than me. And so I just think that's important to really observe your employees, see where they thrive, and just try to feed that and support that.
Well, that's a good one because I actually have observed something with with our employees.
Oh,
yeah, no, I have, and it's you specifically, Nikki. And I wanted to talk about it actually at the end of the Action Item Spectacular, and I forgot when we were recording it. But it was incredibly gratifying for Mark and I to see you at the conference actually, because it really felt like. And especially in the last year, I feel like you've really hit your stride in the company, and like it's been really gratifying to watch you grow. And then it was like super fun for us to see you feel like a part of the community there and to have so much fun.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't a gamble for us to bring you, but it's like, well, let's bring Nikki. It'd be fun. It'd be a great perk for you. And it'd be a great benefit for us. But then just to see you just kind of thrive into it and do the Instagram and just jump in like with both feet was really fun.
Yeah,
and I'm coming back next year, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
People are expecting it now. We're already getting requests.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was just talking. I'll go. Yeah. Well, it's like I think it's implement a little bit of AI. I mean, I think we've been grooving on it. So we got the Plod, the PLAUD is what it's is the name of it, and it's like $150 or $140. It's pretty incredible. I would kind of it's great for client meetings. It's great for, So that's kind of my action item is to get one of those things.
Okay.
But and you always know if you're recording a conversation, as Jen always says, you just got to make sure you tell people.
Yeah. Before you plonk
it's kind
it
of
down
important.
And press the button. Yeah.
So that is my action item. Spend that $150. It's a write-off. So
there you go.
For it.
Yeah. So we can start using it, and it's going to be fun for us too.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. All right. So my action item. This was kind of thinking back to PMRE and something that's kind of stuck with me. And like after talking to Brandon Cooper and pretty much everyone there who's hitting a certain level of success. And it's just kind of to double down on bringing people into your business to help you.
Right.
No matter what, even if you're not looking to grow a team and scale as much as we're trying to do, even if you think you're just a solo shooter, an architectural shooter, whatever it is, like even these people at the top of their game that you think are a solo shooter, like Brandon Barre, Emma Peter, when you really talk to them, they have this huge team of people beneath them. They're just the name at the top. So if you're just trying to grind it and just do everything yourself, then it's just like,
Yeah, I think Brandon brought 5 people.
Yeah.
Brandon Barre.
Right.
Yeah, because he's
and
doing
like
the
you look at
workshop,
Emma Pete, oh, she's this, but it's like she doesn't even own Photoshop. She doesn't edit. She's never edited her own photos. Like it's just like she has this team of people that make her look amazing. So if you're out there grinding it and you're just hesitant to bring on a shooter or a VA or an admin or whatever it is, it's like you can't reach that next level of success, I think.
Yeah.
Without that.
You have to take those steps.
And, you know, Brandon Cooper said that. He grew the conference and he had to let things go and bring people in. And it's been the best thing he ever did. So,
yeah,
for sure.
Cool.
Hey.
So much action.
Man, I love action. Thank you, Nikki, for taking the time to come in, even though we're paying you. But it's
a win-win.
And Mark, good to be back. Good to be back.
I love what you've done with the place.
Yeah. And of course, who do we want to thank? Our listeners. Come on, listeners for sure, and Chelsea. Don't want to forget Chelsea. But thank you to everyone for listening. Hey man, we're hitting it hard for 2025, so we're gonna have a lot of stuff. So thank you.
Thank you.
Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios. This episode was produced by Chelsea Froelich and edited by Bethany Diedrich. Thank you so much for listening, and we really hope you listen to the next one too. In the meantime, our wish for you is to not have to shoot any Friday night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.